Hi, my name is Stacey Peterson, Funny Motivational Speaker, and sometimes I catch myself thinking or doing things that are a little off compared to a lot of other people. And I usually kind of wonder if some of that is because I grew up poor. Like, this is the house I grew up in. So I came up with 30 things that you may relate to, like if you grew up poor, you may like totally recognize and have gone through and experienced or think the same thing now as I do. So before I begin, please like, subscribe, and share. And if you can relate to any of these or I forget some, I would love to see it down in the comments. So I'm reading this, which is a little annoying, but I'm not going to memorize all 30 things for you. Sorry. So here we go. Number one, 17 different ways to cook a potato in the microwave with three other ingredients, which would be salt, ketchup, cheese. Like, you have 17 recipes on how to rehash that. Number two, the posters on your bedroom wall were from pages ripped out of old magazines, and mine were actually ripped out of the library magazines. Number three, vacation always consisted of either a tent or a relative. Number four, you know how to water down liquid soap, shampoo, milk, juice, and of course, your life expectations. You can water those down really well. Number five, you went all 12 years without ever once having a Capri Sun or a bag of Doritos in your lunch bag because that was what the rich kids ate. Number six, you spent hours with a cassette player next to the radio, waiting for them to play your favorite song so that you could record it because you did not have the money to buy the cassette tape or eventually the CDs. So, your makeup area, for all you ladies out there who grew up in my time period, your makeup area consisted of white rain, wet and wild, and a curling iron from a garage sale. Any of you know what I'm talking about? Okay, you had tinfoil on your TV antennas. Number nine, you had peachy folders because the Garfield folders or the Superman folders were like 20 cents extra. So you just always had like 50 million yellow peaches. You to this day have a panic attack if you see a light left on, you hear water running, or the heat is like above any like 68 when it's below zero outside. You still think you have like, oh my gosh, in the back of your head, you can hear the voices. Number 11, you were a teenager or older before you ever ate at a restaurant that had a tablecloth and real silverware. You can count on two fingers the number of haircuts you had in a year. My mom took my sister and I to a barber. You should see some of our childhood photos. Oh my gosh. Your dog, like dog food today and the way people treat their dogs, you're like, what the heck? Because your dog only ate leftovers and still managed to live to be like 23 years old. My dog did. You know what Nutter Fluffers, ramen pasta salad, or English muffin pizza is. Uh, Back to school was a little different for you because on number 15, while your friends were out shopping at the Bon Marché or the Limited, you were across the tracks over there shopping at Next to New, begging your mom to please not buy you another pair of bell bottoms because it just so happened to be 1986 at that point. Your parents saw no need for toys when you could just go outside and play. Number 17, your bike's banana seat had duct tape all over it to try and keep the stuffing from pulling out in the middle. And it was pretty much just white or silver because the paint was just so wore off. Number 18, you ate breakfast for dinner and cold spaghetti for breakfast because you ate leftovers until they got up and walked out on their own. Number 19, you were the only kid on your sports team at away games who did not have Gatorade ever because why would you spend money on that when there's water fountains everywhere? And you were also the only kid on the sports team that had the generic shoes and the roll-on deodorant that was like wet from 1965 when everybody else had like the cool spray-on deodorant. That was really popular when I was in middle school. Okay, number 20. Your pajamas had become high waters 3 years prior, but you still wore them because they were the only pair you owned, and so you had to bring them to all the sleepovers. Uh, 21. Nothing dumbfounds you more, like almost to the point you can't process what is actually happening right in front of you. Like it's so shocking, is when you eat at a restaurant with someone and they leave half their meal on the plate and then they get up and they don't want to take it home. I know. I just, to this day, you still scrape every peanut butter, mayonnaise jar. You bang the ketchup and the mustard bottles to get every tiny little last bit out because you're scared you're going to get in trouble for wasting stuff. You can't relate to all the blockbuster like throwbacks. I can't, because the only video cassette tapes of movies you ever watched were either borrowed or checked out from the library. Yeah. So while they were trying to figure out like which hits to watch, I was over in the library trying to decide between the BBC version of Hamlet's Shakespeare and was it Rick Steves' Traveling Europe. Like those were my Friday night selects. You wanted to go to homecoming or prom, but you couldn't afford it, so you didn't go. And then when people were like, "Hey, how come you're not going?" You just made something up like, "Oh, I hate dances," whatever. I know, sad. Okay. You still get excited when you see change on the ground, like in a parking lot, because it's literally free money just lying right there. And not only that, but you actually have like a little plastic cup in your car that you keep all that change. I don't care that it's disgustingly dirty. If I see change, I'm picking it up. I am. Number 26, one-upping your siblings or any of your family members now during the holidays consists pretty much solely of who got the best deal or the best freebie that year. Like that's what your conversations consist of. Number 27, whenever you order at a restaurant, you can still feel your mom's eyes burning and looking at you when it's your turn, just to remind you, just to make sure that you, under no circumstances, ever order a drink, an appetizer, or a dessert. And 90% of the time, you will be splitting that with someone. So, number 28, you have a lot of childhood stories about coupons, because I do. Like my grandma or my mom with coupons. Number 29, you still steal hotel soaps, jam and crackers from the restaurant, the Taco Bell hot sauce, like you still have a drawer full of it because you can't seem to let that really bizarre habit go. And number 30, this is totally true of me. You no longer have YouTube Premium because your 30-day trial is up and you ain't paying for that kind of stuff. Can you relate to any of those? If so, I would love for you to share it or just put down in the comments ones that you related to or that I didn't think of. I would love to hear your stories. But yeah, it does make us more resilient. I think it makes us more prudent and wise. And I think we're also more grateful because we don't leave half our food on the restaurant table. We know how much work it is to earn $1. So yes, see you next time.